Hello, I'm Dr. Rocky Aker. Today I want to talk about proper ways to lift something, and I don't mean just heavy things like this old computer. We all know the new ones are much lighter. This one's pretty heavy. But when you're lifting it up, you want to try to keep your head and shoulders over your hips as much as possible. The further over this way that your head and shoulders are over your hips, the worse it is for your back. So when you're picking up something like this, it would be worse to go like this and better to go like this. I think you can see the difference there. What ends up happening is you're putting more weight on your toes and keeping your hips and buttocks underneath your shoulders, so you lift like that. It's much more of a strain on your legs than your back, because a lot of people think that just because they bend their knees, they're picking something up right, because you've heard bend at the knees. Well, okay, I'm bending at the knees, but I'm still leaning far forward over my hips. And this just doesn't apply to heavy things. It's also like a pencil or a piece of paper, because I can't tell you how often in chiropractic we have patients that have come in, they spent a weekend helping their brother move or something like that, doing yard work, and then they made it through, their back's kind of stiff and tight, but then Monday morning they get up to go to work, they're a little stiff and tight, and then all of a sudden they bent over to put on a shoe or put on their sock, and then all of a sudden they got this severe flare-up because they had their spine was under all this stress leading up to it, and they thought all they did was just do something simple like tie their shoe or put on their shoe. But the problem with that is that you bent over too far. And so that can even happen when you're brushing your teeth or shaving or washing your face. It's an awkward, stressful position on your lower back, and you really want to try to avoid that as much as possible. One last example before we end this video is that, let's say you're doing dishes. You want to move up to the counter as far as you can, because you don't want to stand further back away from the counter and do it like this. That's too hard on your back, on your lower back, and it's hard on your neck and shoulders too. So what you want to do is scoot up to it and try to have a stance like this, so that you can work like this, so that your head and shoulders are more over your hips. Thank you.